What is going on, Nuggets Nation and NBA fans? I'm Tom Leuthner, rocking the Nuggets Jokic jersey. And I wish I had more energy for you guys. That was one of the worst games of basketball I think I've ever watched. And that is not just a Nuggets game, that is just games of basketball I've ever watched. But we got a few topics to get into here. And the first topic I want to cover is the change of pace. It has to change when the three ball isn't working. I know it started working later on in the game. This was strictly based off my emotions in the first half because that first half was atrocious. I think 8 points it was in the first quarter. You can't do that. This isn't a high school basketball game. This isn't a 14U basketball game. This is the NBA with who's supposed to be one of the best players we've ever seen in the entire game. So let's just go through some of the shooting. One point in the game, we missed a three, two offensive rebounds. Brown grabs the first one, brings it out, which fine, you want to reset, and then throws up another three. Then we go out to, I think it was either Gordon or MPJ. That's another missed three. There were multiple air balls in the first half that were terrible shots. Russ came in and missed two shots right away. We started 0 for 9 from the three-point line, which I think it might have gotten worse. So in the first quarter, there we go. In the first quarter, we were 0 for 14. We were 2 from 19 from the field. Why were we shooting more three-pointers? We started the game 0 for 7. That was the first seven threes we took were 7 misses. Why continue to shoot the threes when we have a guy like Aaron Gordon, who's one of the most athletic small power forward combos that we've seen, a guy like Christian Brown, who likes to attack the paint, a guy like Jamal Murray, whose layup packages we've seen have been amazing, and a guy like Jokic, who is one of the best drop back centers that we've ever seen when his back is to the basket. He has been terrible. And I usually say I praise Jokic all the time. And it's funny to say he's been awful, right? From the Jokic standpoint, he's been terrible. I believe 33% right now in the playoffs, especially in this round. And it doesn't sound like it's that bad. But for a guy like Jokic, it's that bad. I know when you look at the stat sheet, sure, his field goal percentage does not look good. His stats look good. Every game's a 20-point double-double at least, so it looks good, and everybody's going to bash the assist. But I'm not going to blame him for the assist because we couldn't hit a shot. You can't blame him for the assist, but he has been terrible shooting. He went into this game, missed his first 3 threes, finally picked it up and started hitting some shots, but he was 0 for 13 in his last 13 attempts. That is awful. We can't have that happen, especially when you're the best player in the NBA, or so to speak, the best player in the NBA. So it was awful. We missed some free throws, and that's big. And Jokic missed them at the end of the game, and that's what we're gonna get into. The next topic here is fresh legs. We need to see some fresh bodies and fresh legs. I know in the beginning of the game we saw Strother come in. He got his minutes, and I actually thought he played well. We're running the zone. And he played the back block pretty well. You saw that he had a defender closed off on his inside hip, and he was also watching the 3-point ball, which is where they usually beat us, on that 3-point ball in the corner. So he played well. I would have liked to see more shot attempts, or any shot attempts, with that being said. But we're not giving him the ball. We're playing through our stars, and I understand that. I'm not saying I don't. But then we're taking him out. Why not keep the fresh legs in there for a little bit? The thing I didn't like seeing was, I believe he came in and we took Jokic out, and we kept Gordon, we kept Brown, we kept MPJ, we had Russ in at one point, we had Murray in at one point. Play Zeke Naji. Play the young guy. He looked fine in the 3 minutes he got last game. We're not asking for a lot, but we're asking for a big man. Because when Jokic came out, we lost the rebound battle. We lost the rebound battle in total this game, but Isaiah Hartenstein was out rebounding Gordon and MPJ because they couldn't stick with him. So why not? I don't think DeAndre Jordan should be getting minutes anymore. I think we're all past that DeAndre Jordan point. Play Zeke Naji. I know he's not the biggest body in the world, but I'd rather see a bench with either Murray or Westbrook, Brown or Strother, MPJ Gordon, and a backup center, which just happens to be Zeke Naji right now. So why not play that lineup? They're a massive team. We know that. We're not that small of a team, but Aaron Gordon is not a backup center. He's a backup small forward. He is a power forward, small forward combo who can bring the ball up for you on offense. He is not a backup center when he's going against a guy like Jalen Williams, Chet Holmgren, or Isaiah Hartenstein. We've seen that. We have a backup center who, I know he's no longer here, Calvin Booth, but he paid him to be the backup center that he drafted. Play him. We need him to get those non-Jokic minutes, and we've been playing well in those non-Jokic minutes. But when we're getting beat out on the offensive rebounds, that can't happen. We need a backup center in there. Also, why not play Julian Strawther a few more minutes and give us some fresh legs? We were struggling. We didn't even see him take a shot. He's supposed to be a three-point shooter. We were struggling from three, and still Russ is up there chucking up threes. MPJ's out there chucking up threes when you could tell he can't lift his left shoulder. Sure, finally we got it going in the second half, but why not let those guys, those fresh bodies, either come in and get the opportunity to shoot? But talking about the fresh bodies, one other thing I think we saw here was a lack of pace. We played fast in the second half. And again, I know that a lot of this was my emotions in the first half because of how bad it was, and that the next topic is going to cover the opposite of that. But the pace seems sluggish and slow, and that's not usually how Denver plays. We usually play a fast-paced game of basketball. I know when we come down in our half-court sets, we play a slower game of basketball, but these weren't half-court sets. We're getting the ball and going, and even on defense, we're coming back. There's actually a clip. I'm sure if you go on Twitter, if you go on Instagram, you'll see it. MPJ comes back on the defensive side, wasn't running, was sort of jogging, and allows a wide open three. There were so many times that we just didn't close out, and you hear the announcer say, well, they just left that guy open and got lucky because they were missing shots because they couldn't shoot great either tonight. But I don't understand why we're not playing with a more aggressive pace. All we've been talking about is Denver's going to come out rolling. We're going to be aggressive. We didn't see that aggressiveness, and we saw it in the third quarter a little bit, and I know that's a little bit of a short topic, but I want to finish off here. We saw the aggressiveness in the third quarter. We went on a run, and then we could not finish. I don't care what anybody says that, well, we came back at the end. I don't care. We didn't win. We came back, sure, so be it, but we didn't win those last minutes. We won maybe the last minute of the game, and that can't afford to happen. And you know what? We didn't even win the last quarter the last minute of the game because we were missing free throws. Sure, wow, it ended a 3-point game. I don't care. We shouldn't have blown that lead. We went scoreless again. This happens, and this was the game of runs I was talking about earlier a couple episodes ago. But that cannot happen if we want to win games. Again, Jokic is playing sluggish. We're finally hitting some shots in third quarter. He got it going. Then he comes out, fourth quarter, misses clutch free throws. Sure, you could say, you know what? The foul calls were a little iffy today. I know that we shot a lot of free throws. I'm not saying we did it. But some of the free throws on their side were, they were calling them when it probably shouldn't have been a foul. We might have gotten a couple too. But again, we did not play well in the clutch. We can't afford to blow that lead. I think that we were down 15 at one point, came back, took the lead. Went on we were up 6 at one point in the third. We were looking good in the third. We were looking like we could close it out. And then fourth quarter comes, and for some reason we go scoreless into the last few minutes of the game, and that can't afford to happen. We're not supposed to drop out when we need to. We're supposed to give those, if we're going to give those minutes, fine, give it in the fourth quarter. I'd rather see us suck for 3 quarters, have a good quarter in the fourth quarter, and win the game. I don't want to see us suck for the first half, have a great third quarter, suck for the beginning of the third quarter, and then come out and be great in the end of the third, or the end of the fourth rather, when it doesn't matter anymore because we already lost. We were banking on a 1-point steal or 1 second steal and a 3-pointer. You can't bank on that. You have to capitalize when you have the lead, and that's when you need to go off and dominate the game. And we didn't do that at any point in the game today. The only time that we ever dominated was just that stretch where we took the lead and we came back, and that can't happen if we want to win this series. They have too many fresh legs. I know the short turnaround, wow, 36 hours. I know that's going to take a toll on you, but you have to be conditioned, especially when the entire season you're running a 6-7 man rotation. You have to be conditioned, and you cannot let it get to you now that this is too tough for you to play. You cannot be too exhausted now and too worn out now. You have to push through that so you could get through this round, because I think that we're more talented than them. I just think they have a deeper team. Once we see Jokic dominate those games, that's when we're going to go, okay, we're going to win. But we're not seeing that. I don't know what's happening. Again, I know there's a short turnaround. I know the altitude, but we just lost a game at home that we couldn't afford to lose. So I'm so twisted that we blew that game. I really am. I thought that we had it. I am not too confident with the rest of this series, if I'm being honest with you. I think that the adrenaline that they're going to have, and that, that confidence going into their home court and the crowd that they're going to have, I just think it's going to be tough to finally win these games now and close this out. I think we needed this game in order to close it out. But who knows what's going to happen in the next game. Maybe Jokic goes back to his regular form and actually dominates, but we just have to wait and see. That's all I got for you guys today, Nuggets Nation. I will catch you guys soon. Thanks for checking it out, and I hope you guys have a fantastic night.